Hi, I'm Trooper Smacka.
Hi, I'm Trooper Wellman.
Please stay tuned for a behind-the-scenes look at being a state trooper.
And together, we can make a difference.
Here we are live with Trooper Talk on the Road with Coco with a Popo. Tell us who you are and tell us why you are famous.
Well, my name is Ricardo Laguna, hometown hero, and I guess the reason why some people might know me is because I ride BMX bikes, and I'm very fortunate to have my own reality TV show on MTV3.
And so, why are you here right now?
Well, I'm hoping to help the community by, I guess the students, because we're here at a school, and to kind of unite as one group, because a lot of people feel like the cops are like the bad guys, or they're not very comfortable to talk to, and no, they're actually here to become part of the community, be one, and then to help us all be safe. So actually just to be like, let's hang out, let's talk, and have some hot chocolate.
And so, we were all kids.
Exactly.
Right? And so when we looked at a badge, we looked at it maybe differently than someone else does in today's world, right? And so with you being on the TV and stuff like that, you see things a little bit differently than most, just as these children do. And so we need to be a light in these children's future, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, that's why we're here. We're trying to show the true colors. A lot of people get a lot of different thoughts and social media, news, and they can basically pound whatever seed they want. But right now we're showing the colors that I would love for you guys to see how this venue is going to look and how cool that all the police officers, beatboxers, people like yourself, fire department, we're here hanging out, and we just want to have fun. So let's work together and make this community a great community.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And you have some other people that you want to introduce us to, is that right?
Yeah, actually I got to
come
put
on.
them in the hot seat.
Yeah, bring him right over. Look, we're doing this live. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't even know. Yeah, right?
I'm embarrassed. I don't know his name. I just know him as Beatboxer.
Hey, listen, that's good enough. Tell us your name and tell us who you are.
I'll tell you right now, I go by the name of J.R. Beatbox.
Isn't that wild, right?
Exactly,
we,
right?
we totally were not expecting this at all. And so we appreciate you. Tell us why you're here today.
You know, I'm here because of the community. I'm a local Las Vegas artist and entertainer, so I feel like the community is very important. I grew up out here and went to elementary, middle school, and high school and college. So I'm a native, man, and I love my city, and I love to represent the art of beatbox throughout the community. Honestly, the kids are amazing. My daughter's 12, and she's in middle school, so I feel like it's my duty to show responsibility of just good health, good wealth, good integrity, community, and just stay focused on whatever dreams are possible.
And so when we look at the kids, just as we were talking right here about them being the guiding light of our future, you having a child that's 12 years old, you look at things a lot differently than when you were a child, right?
Man, I'll tell you right now, I had a fat boy moment in middle school. I wasn't a popular, and I came across the art of beatboxing, and that was my outlet. So I found my outlet soon after high school. I found that if I could attach business with my art, I could be able to really make something, and then now I'm able to make a huge impact. So yeah, it starts from day one, especially from the schools, all the way to kids finding their way and who they are individually. You know, it's very important.
And so that's inspirational because not everybody can do that, right? And so not everybody can go on the TV and feel like, oh my goodness, I'm going to expose my whole entire life in front of everybody, right?
Yeah, correct. But as I said before, and I'll say it again, we're here to basically be in person, to see how we are, not what you guys hear in the news, social media, XYZ. We're just all like everybody. We eat the same, we sleep the same way, and we're here to make this community amazing.
Well, I appreciate both of you here. What are you going to do to get us out of this? You going to do another little thing or something?
Oh yeah, why not? We're gonna go. Sending out.
Where are those crickets coming from? Where are those crickets?
Thank you guys. We'll see you later, okay? Tell us who you are. Tell us why we're here. Tell us why we're here.
Hi, I'm Officer Turner with Clark County School Police, P number 551. Myself and my fellow officer, Officer Bruni and Officer Clifford, organized this event, Coco with the Popo. First time for middle school kids. We're trying to promote community service, positive reinforcement with our community leaders, our fellow first responders, and just trying to show kids a good time and to ask us any questions they may have.
And so why is it that you're doing this? Why is this important for you?
It's important for me because this is the community in which I live in. Sorry about that, but I'm interviewing. Say hi.
Hi.
Say hi. Look at the camera here. It's important for me because I work and live in this community, and I wanted to give back, and it's important for my squad to also give back.
And you see all these kids, and they all have smiles on their faces.
I know, that's so amazing.
Amazing. And everybody that's here is actually really excited to do what they're doing, right?
Yes, they are. Everybody, honestly, it came together very last minute. This was put together by my partners and the administration. I have to give a lot to our administration. They worked hard during Christmas break to organize this, to get donations from Albertsons. Albertsons donated our donuts and our cocoa, and so it was all last minute. We had a 2-week break, so literally we did this in a month's time, which is unheard of.
We think it's fantastic. Thank you so much. You want to introduce everybody that's here?
Yes, this is Assistant Principal Sue Thurman. Hi, welcome to Harney.
Thank you so much for being here. Tell us why you do what you do for the kids.
You can hold the microphone.
Well, like Officer Turner, I also live within this East Side community. I'm very proud of our school. I've actually been at Harney Middle School since it opened in 2002. Super proud to be here. I think we have wonderful students, and I think we represent the East Side and Sunrise Mountain very well. We're just thrilled to have everyone here so everyone can see how great our kids truly are.
We greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much.
These are our rifle plates, our tac vests, our tactical vests for like if it was an active shooter, or you're going to, we had the protest or the Mandalay Bay shooting, things like that. So you would wear this for extra protection because it'll stop a rifle round. Your helmet on? Ready? There you go. And if you want to keep the visor on, you can. It's like to protect you from, any spit, exactly. We actually had a trooper this year run the police memorial run with all that gear on. It was pretty powerful. He ran 3 miles with it.
Whoever's behind Big Four needs to stick out.
So, Trooper Wellman, so we're now in January, it's past the beginning of the year, all the holidays are done, all that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But, we still have real concerns with what people are doing. Now, what's really cool is a couple people came into the store the other day and I said, "Oh, do you watch Trooper Talk?" And the lady goes, "I watch Trooper Talk every week." The guy goes, I've never seen it. But, the lady said she sees it.
Wow.
And so she watches it. And so we've told everybody that we're on 3 times a week now. And, the thing is that Trooper Talk is resonating because there are so many people that are really mad. Okay? And so let's start off today with talking about, and it's not in a negative way, okay? I had someone reach out to me that owns a very big magazine here in town that wants to help us with the promotion and these type of things, okay? Because his response was, "I'm so mad at what's happening here in Las Vegas on the roadways."
Yeah.
And so we have alarm systems at our house, and these type of things. But when we're driving on the road, we have our car.
Mm-hmm.
So, the person to the left or the right, in front and to the back, who knows what they are or what they're doing. And so we have to be very scared and very diligent. And a lot of people aren't, right?
Yes. A motor vehicle is a weapon, right? It's just how you perceive it. And once you get behind the wheel, you can cause serious damage all the way up to death to someone else or yourself if you are not responsible when you get in your vehicle. And being responsible can mean many different things, such as the obvious: don't drive impaired, put down the phone, pay full attention by not messing with the radio, not trying to punch in your GPS while you're driving, no texting, pull over, get situated, and then get back on the road. Even something as simple as like putting on your makeup or combing your hair or shaving or eating or, anything else that you would do in the car that would distract you or take away from your full attention. You're putting yourself not only in danger, but everyone around you. And that's why whenever you get in that vehicle, it's your responsibility to make sure that you are being responsible. And I'll take it one step further. Anytime you have passengers in your vehicle, their lives are in your hand as well. And I've told you before that as a passenger, if I get into any vehicle, if I can't look at that driver and say, I trust you with my life, then I shouldn't be in that vehicle, because they ultimately have my life in their hands. And I'm not saying that they could be doing everything right, and now I have another driver that's impaired or driving reckless and they put us in that situation. But if everybody planned ahead and didn't drive impaired and paid full attention, we would never have any fatalities, hopefully, right? I mean, there's always medical episodes and just freak accident, things that cause crashes, but majority, it would stop, and it would make more time for officers and emergency personnel to actually respond to other emergency situations. But now with the new year starting, those challenges and those problems don't just go away. They're still with us. People even have resolutions that they're trying to put in place and set goals for themselves, and if they start to fail, they may seek other alternatives, such as substance abuse. And if anybody is having any suicidal thoughts, like, we highly encourage you to always call 988. You can talk to anybody at any time, and they'll help you get through this challenge, because your life matters and you should be here. It's just a hard time at that moment. It'll get better.
Yeah, and people still have stress. And so when people have stress, sometimes their mind is not always thinking in the right way. And so, we have to prepare for that. We also have the fact of, now is the time when people sometimes are stressed, when people turn to other activities. And, they go to, maybe they go to a bar down the road, and they just, they're not used to it, but they're so stressed that they don't know what to do. Drive on the track.
We've been doing this for years. Laps for Charity, benefiting Speedway's Children's Charity, is a nonprofit organization that you can bring out. If you can drive it on the roadway, you can drive it here. So this is for anybody in the community that wants to come out. And for each car, I believe the entry fee is $75 to $100. But if your car, let's say you have a Suburban and it seats 8 people, you can bring 8 people in your car. Yeah, and it's just one entry fee per car. And so if you have children, they have to be 6 years and older, and they can ride in the vehicle too. And you get up to 5 to 10 laps, and you go out there. A lot of card clubs do it, and you get to drive multiple laps on the speedway, and go at a high rate of speed, but in a safe, controlled area. And this is where you get to break in your car. It's fun, and it's for a good cause. And we have all different types of cars that come out, trucks and law enforcement. We always team up with Nevada Donor Network, and we're always so grateful that they sponsor us every year. And we've opened it up this year to school police and the Las Vegas City Marshals that will be in attendance with us. And I just talked to you, and so you're going to be joining us.
What was that exciting news? Go ahead. I was waiting for you to. You said you had exciting news. I'm seeing this. I'm freaking out. What is the exciting news?
If you're available on January 29th, we would love for you to join our team this year.
Oh.
Because of everything you've done for us, but also just because you're an amazing community partner. You're always giving back to the children at schools here in town. We would love for you to be a part of our team and come drive some laps with us.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'll be there.
Awesome.
So what did we? So tell me. So you show up there, you hang out and all that stuff, and then you drive around the actual speedway in the car.
Yeah. So when you first get there, you and your team will check in, and then they will bring you in groups, and each individual car gets a self-portrait on the speedway from a professional photographer, and then you all line up, and then they wave the checkered flag. We have the pit car that drives us around, and then you get to take off, and you get to do I feel like it's usually 10, but it's up to 10 laps. And you go around, and then the pit car will take you off, and you just drive off. But it's so much fun, and
you're cruising.
Yeah, you're cruising.
Oh.
Yeah.
And let's talk about this a little bit, okay? That this is an event that someone that has a fast car, right, can pay an entry fee and drive on the speedway.
Yes.
So a lot of people have fast cars, right, that are not cheap. You know what I mean? A lot of these people have very expensive cars, And if they can afford that expensive car, they can certainly afford $75 or $100 or whatever the dollar amount is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so this is an event that people can come and drive their fast cars so they don't have to drive fast on the freeway.
You and I are always talking about anybody that's speeding on our roadways or getting these crashes because they were traveling at a high rate of speed because they were racing. We always say there's no excuse that we have a track just down the way in our city that they can go use if they really want to drive their car fast. And it's in a safe environment. It's made to go fast, like, you know, for your car to travel fast. There's never an excuse. And here's one of those prime opportunities right now where you can go out there with your friends. It's for a good cause. All the proceeds go to the children's charities, and you can actually go drive your car fast and not have to worry about getting pulled over or a ticket, and see if you can actually drive your car as fast as you think you can.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, people think in their mind, oh, I could go 120.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you go take it on the track and you take that curve and you tell me how you feel if you're not like hesitant and want to hit that brake at 120. You see how fast it really is. Roll your window down and feel that breeze in your face at 120.
Yeah.
And
yes.
I don't know. I just say.
And I also see cars here that can't do that fast.
Yeah,
that
they just
it
wanna
might be just
cruise.
fun just to cruise around the track.
Yeah.
That it's not just about the speed.
Exactly.
Right,
It's just a car club that wants to come out, maybe have their family with them,
Right.
and be like, oh my gosh, like, when are you ever going to have an opportunity to go drive the Speedway track, you know? Right. NASCAR drives on there. Like, what a cool opportunity.
Right. So January 29th.
Uh-huh.
So how does someone pre-register? Do you know any? So
you would just go online. I believe it's just benefiting Speedway Children's Charity. I can get you the exact website, but I think it's Speedway Children's Charity is the website.
And then they go there, and then they can sign up or whatever, and then
register right there.
Register right there.
And the waivers are online. Again, if you have any children that you want to be there, they just have to be 6 years or older. And then each car, if it has a seatbelt and enough seats, that's how many people you can have in your car.
And then everybody in there has to wear a helmet, or no?
Nope.
You're just going on
you
there.
You just drive it.
That's the best. Nevada State Police arrested a driver accused of leading them on a multi-state chase who attempted to hit a trooper.
I was going to send you this, actually. I'm glad you have it. So, preliminary details on this. I was just informed today because I wasn't super aware of this, and I've been getting hit up now. We had a trooper in our Laughlin area. Yes, I believe it was Laughlin. And he witnessed a vehicle traveling wrong way and lost visual. And again, I'm not 100% on the details. More will come out. But I believe he witnessed a vehicle traveling wrong way and lost visual. Well, then he was at the station, and when he came out of the station, he saw that vehicle again, and the vehicle actually tried to hit him and strike him. So he gets into his vehicle, and the chase is on, the pursuit, right? Because he attempted to murder him. Metro is involved with us, and maybe Nye County. And so it's a long pursuit after this individual ended up going into Arizona, and they spiked his vehicle and got it stopped and got him in custody. He was arrested on, I want to say, suspicion of impairment. I think they found narcotics in the vehicle. Again, I have to double check, but he was arrested, and the trooper is fine and everything's good now, but could have been a very, very close call.
Yeah, and so wrong way driving, right? Which makes my head spin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then trying to hit a troop. I mean, like.
Yeah, because of the uniform he's wearing.
You know, and so let's give a big shout out and say this: we love our troopers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're glad that trooper's okay.
And so we're glad that the trooper's okay, and that you know, if the police are behind you, just pull over because you know you're not getting away, right? Like their radios go faster than your car, and so just pull over.
Look at his eyes just in his photo.
It's horrible.
They're so red.
Right. He looks like he's wasted.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're just thankful that the trooper's okay. These people are just making me crazy. Las Vegas is a hot spot. Oh, so I wanted to talk about this. Now, we talk about this every once in a while, but not all the time.
Right.
So, human trafficking has a lot of different areas that many people don't understand or don't know. And so they always have said that Las Vegas has a lot of people coming here and then going other places. And we've talked about the human trafficking before, but now it's becoming more prevalent. And sometimes when a trooper pulls people over, there can be human trafficking in the car.
Absolutely.
Go.
Yeah, I remember not too long ago we had a trooper stop a vehicle, and there was a young lady in the passenger seat and an adult male in the driver's seat. And part of our training is if we ask a question to the passenger, we want to see if they respond. Or if we ask questions to the other passengers, we're kind of seeing if they want to respond. And that's part of our training of domestic violence as well as human trafficking, kidnapping. We're just trying to see what's going on and see if anybody's uneasy, because maybe at that moment they can't call for help, because the other individuals threaten them. And so in this particular case, the trooper immediately picked up on that the gentleman kept answering for her. She seemed very scared, had her head down. Anytime he talked to her, she was just like, yes, no, kept her head down, kept looking at the gentleman to see if he approved for her to respond. And so at that point, the trooper knew something was up. Something just didn't feel right. We always say if the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, trust them and go with it.
Yeah.
Look further into it. What could it hurt? And he did, and he followed his gut. And come to find out, that girl had been kidnapped from that gentleman somewhere in California, and they had traveled to Nevada. And I think she had been with him, stuck with him for over a month, if not maybe 3 months. And her parents were looking for her, and she couldn't get away, and he had made all these threats. And that trooper saved that girl's life, and she was 13 years old. And it was just from a simple traffic stop, or as we always say, just like a standard traffic stop, that led to all of that. And through that case and many others, we train our new recruits to look for signs such as that and indicators that something might not be right. And the highways are always traveled. I mean, I'm just going to say it, bad people that do this to individuals, they travel on our highways, and it's up to us and the community. If you see something, say something, because we need everyone's help to make sure these children are safe. And, it's not even just children as well. Like, adults are victims of human trafficking. You get, they say, caught up in the game and stuff, or you have nowhere to go, and then these individuals will provide you with shelter and food, but yet you have to do things in exchange for them. And I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And whether that be transporting narcotics for them, it's absolutely devastating, and nobody should ever be subject to that. And we have a lot of passionate officers out there that are out there making a difference and really trying to help these individuals with the human trafficking and getting them out of that and preventing any of that from happening. So it's just absolutely devastating.
He saved her life, right?
Yes.
That's you know what I mean? Like she's a young girl or young woman, however, right? She's 13, right? He saved her life. And so, we talk about all the time on the Trooper Talk that we want to save someone's life. And so, he saved her. I mean, I keep repeating it just because of the fact that, we talk about all these different things, about the drunk driving and all this, but that's taking away someone's innocence.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And so, I had a good childhood growing up. Most people didn't. And so when this is something you can never get back when you're 10, 11, 12, all of a sudden, then you're older and you have responsibilities, and you know what I mean? And so these times are never gotten back.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so
still her innocence and her childhood, absolutely. And that trooper, I couldn't even imagine how probably scared he was when he realized what he had, just
right.
Oh my goodness, right? But at the same time, the pure joy he had when he brought her back to her parents. And I mean, if I was him, I probably would have just retired right there.
That's
I just
what-
like
that's what
people
I'm
live
say-
for moments
that's
like
what
that.
I'm saying. So,
Like,
so
that's why you wear the badge.
Right.
It's amazing.
Like, you could say, okay, I stopped you with the DUI, and you could have killed 12 people, and so I saved your life. And you could come back and you say, you saved my life because you stopped me, and I was driving drunk that day, and I just wanted to thank you. And you go, I appreciate, totally different, I'm sure, than like you're saying.
It's just a
So
different
somebody
call,
like,
right?
like. And so anyway, the human trafficking is a real thing.
Absolutely.
And so for an older person, I would imagine in today's world, where I see it in the store, where a lot of my older clients are now having to move in with their children.
Mm-hmm.
They're now not being able to afford their 3,000 or 4,000 square foot home, and they need to move into a 300 or 400 square foot apartment. And so again, psychologically, I'm sure that does so many things that they're not the older crowd or generation is maybe looking for other things. So from young to old, we still like you said, we still have to be very prevalent. We still have to maintain the fact that if you see something, say something. And for an older generation like that, they still have things that we have to talk with, right?
Yeah, I think education and knowledge is power. And so the more we put things in the media, the more we talk about things and raise awareness to it. That's why for human trafficking, they dedicated a whole day to it. And the more we bring awareness to it, the more people will understand that it really is out there, and they'll know things to look for. Just like some of the things I just told you right now, like if somebody was ever acting hesitant or nervous, or, if something doesn't seem right, it's okay to always just call us and let us look into it. Because if you're wrong, you're wrong. But if you're right, you literally just save someone's life.
Yeah, you just save someone's life. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you see something, say something.
Please.
Please. 39-year-old man dies after being ejected from car.
Yeah, this one was ours. So this was 95 in Horizon. And this was an interesting situation. For unknown reasons, a vehicle was traveling southbound on 95. Again, this is preliminary details. Traveling southbound 95, just north of Horizon. And for unknown reasons, failed to maintain his traveling. He struck the wall. Vehicle spun out, struck the other wall, and he came to rest partially in the shoulder and partially in we call it the number 3, but it would be the far right traveling. So the nose of his car was still in the traveling. Witnesses stopped out to render aid in front of his car, and he had his driver door open. It's pitch dark. That is one area that is not well lit in our valley right now. It's 95 Horizon area. It's the big hill, if you're familiar with it. You either go up or you come down. It's very dark, and this was in the early hours of the morning, so sun was not up. So visibility was low, and I don't know if impairment played a factor at this point. We'll know that later in the investigation. But the individual did have his door open, and a truck came down. I think it was an F-150, was traveling southbound. Didn't have enough time to react or didn't see the car because it had just occurred, and struck the vehicle. When he struck the vehicle, the driver was then ejected because his door was open and his seatbelt wasn't on. So basically it happened on impact. And then at that point, there was a whole collision with that truck and then the original car, and then the witnesses that had stopped out, their vehicle was then struck, and then another vehicle, this one's, sorry for the graphics, but another vehicle was traveling southbound when then they struck the driver of that vehicle that had been ejected because he ended up coming to rest in the travel lane.
I saw that on the news. Right, he was in the roadway. Right.
When he got ejected, and it was just all like so fast, and there wasn't enough lights. Not that that played a factor, but it was just very fast, so people's reaction time wasn't there. Very tragic event. A lot of lives were changed that night. A lot of people will be forever changed. It was very traumatic what they experienced and witnessed, and this gentleman is no longer with us as a result of what happened that night. And maybe as the investigation goes on, we'll have more answers of why he failed to maintain his travel lane, ultimately causing the initial crash. But take note from this situation that the individuals that stopped to render aid, as much as we appreciate that, and we do because they called it in, they asked if he was okay, make sure you're in a safe location if that occurs, because no matter what, you're still on the highway. And we just had another crash the other day that ended up going fatal. I haven't released the preliminary on that yet, but same situation, people in the shoulder rendering aid or had witnessed, pulled over, and another car crashed and they ended up getting struck. And just please put yourself in a safe situation. I know you want to help, but ultimately we don't want you to get hurt either. That's what we're supposed to do, is put ourselves in that situation and stop traffic and, you know, block cars. And just obviously you can't predict the future and you don't know what's going to happen, but please just make sure you're safe too.
And so that's what I was going to say. So, okay, so let me just ask you. So now, you see this, and now there's a person that's there, right? So obviously you would turn on your hazard signals in your car, right? And then you would try to, not to say be as far away, but as further enough away that you're not hindering sort of a crash, right? But then you're, but like you're saying, like, but the important, like, you know, don't put yourself in a position where you can be harmed. But, right? Like, don't go outside your car and start putting flares in the road and stuff like that, right? I mean,
yeah, I've played this scenario in my head a couple times about the individuals that stopped and what they could have done or what they should have done, and there's no right answer, because even if they stopped behind the car and maybe their lights could have lit it up, then maybe the truck would have seen it a little bit with visibility, but who's to say that they didn't pass the car after he crashed, and so they only had so much time to pull over, and they can't flip around wrong way? Or you don't want to go too far down because then you have to walk down to that individual if that's the choice you make. There's no right answer here. Ultimately, it's your life. You make the choice that you want to put yourself in whichever harm you want. But there is nothing wrong with going up ahead and pulling over and calling 911 or getting yourself to a safe location and calling 911 and saying what you just witnessed. Because chances are we're not too far away and we're on our way. And, you know, we have lights and sirens for a reason so that we can get there quickly. But just don't put yourself in that situation. I mean, I don't know what the right advice is to give to you because we just had a crash the other day where it was in December where a trooper actually was pulling an individual out of a single vehicle crash into the wall. It was daytime and the truck was catching fire and the trooper was struggling to get the man out, and because a citizen stopped, they were able to lift him up like a two-man rescue and carry him to safety, and it was a suspected impaired driver. So, like, I mean, each situation's different, because if we didn't have that citizen that day help our trooper, who knows if he would have been able to get the driver out. But every situation's different.
Just be careful.
Just be careful. Yeah.
And safe. And, you know, we're sorry that he lost his life, and we're sorry for the others. And so the only other thing that I can say is just, you know, things come up very fast.
Yeah, it's just something to think about.
It's why we talk about speed all the time. You know what I mean? And not saying that it could have helped or not helped. You know what I mean? But like, But
just because you think somebody can see that car and they should see that car as they're coming up doesn't mean that the scene is safe, because there's still live threats coming down, right? Still vehicles moving, and if emergency personnel is not there, then nobody's aware that that threat is up ahead. It's just crazy.
And so you could do everything right, and something bad could happen. And so all we can say is, you know, we're sorry for the loss, and we're sorry for everybody that happened. You know what I mean? Thank you for everything. You know, we greatly appreciate it and stuff like that. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so we'll see you later. We'll give everybody a big wave.